I've talked before on this program plenty of times about how there is a two-tiered system of justice in the United States. You know, one that sees the law applied differently depending on whether you are a regular U.S. citizen or whether your name happens to be Donald J. Trump. Now, in the past, I've said that the U.S. is rapidly sliding towards banana republic status, what with those in power, the Biden cabal, trying to jail the opposition leader, that is to say, Trump. But nowhere, and I mean nowhere in the U.S. are things as bad as they are in New York City, which is Trump's old hometown and now ground zero for the effort to twist the law to stop the man from ever returning to the White House. Let's take a look at the hush money case that is now playing out in New York City, and which may go on for weeks, if not months. Well, what's the issue here? They say it's about whether Donald Trump conspired to hide a hush money payment to a porn star, Stormy Daniels, before the 2016 election to conceal an alleged affair, lest it affect his chances at the polls. Go figure. Now, the issue is not so much the payment, but how it was treated for accounting purposes. Like, was it written down, hush money payment to Stormy Daniels, or was it hidden around some other things that made it an in-kind contribution to his campaign? And if it was, does that mean it was a whole conspiracy to interfere with democracy or sway the election? Now, the funny thing is about this is that in its general outline, this case has the same sort of vibe as when the Clinton campaign settled in 2022 its own case with electoral authorities after they did much the same thing, as one person said, lied to their own checkbook about when they paid to fund the infamous Steele dossier. But, of course, unlike the question of whether or not Trump had it off with a porn star, this issue had real consequences for our democracy and kicked off the whole Russia hoax. But never mind. You know how it is, and what might have been at most one misdemeanor count for Trump, which would have been around falsifying business records, has been spun by prosecutors into a whopping 34-count felony indictment. No one, by the way, thinks this is legally sound or that it will hold water, but it doesn't matter. Because, again, apparently, if it got out in the 2016 campaign that Donald Trump wasn't the poster boy for monogamy, well, you can imagine people's shock and horror. So, on the face of it, this whole thing seems ridiculous. I mean, especially because the same people pursuing Trump now are the same people who back in the days of Bill Clinton told us we were supposed to be sophisticated and European about these things.